Welcome back, VA user. In this video, we are going to discuss about customer returns. Now, for the customer return, it is very important that you have sold something to the customer, and when the material reaches at the customer place, thereafter they will verify there might be a possibility of quality check, and they figure out that the material is not up to the mark. In such a case, a customer might initiate a customer return after discussing the matter with you. Now, in such a cases, it is pretty important into the VA system to select the original purchase order, the original delivery order, or the shipment. Once you select the original sales order and the original delivery order, you would be able to generate the customer RMA, that is the written material authorization record, and thereafter against that you would be able to receive the material from the customer, and accordingly you would be enter the credit note into the VA system. Now, how all these steps executed into the VA system we are going to see today uh, in this video, and we will showcase you step by step how you would be able to generate the customer returns into the VA system. So I'm at my login page and I'm going to log in with IDSync with the administrator, right? So as I have always mentioned that once the roles and the user configuration is done, so you have the limited set of records at your login screen. Okay, so your menu will be shrink accordingly. Since you requires only those windows that on daily basis you used to work, but not all the windows, right? So let's move on and we'll see how to generate the customer RMA. So at the login screen, what we need to do is to search the customer RMA, and as a result of customer RMA, you would see the window in front of you. So you just need to press on new record. Thereafter, if there is any order reference, you would be able to enter. Then the document type as customer RMA, and if there is RMA category, if you want to later on analyze that on which basis the return used to be done by the customer, so you would say damaged on arrival, and since the material not reaches at the customer place the way you have sent, so it means there would be a problem from the logistic department and you must able to inquire about all these details. Okay, so from my perspective, it is one of the best features that based on to the RMA category would be later on analyze your data, that what basically the issue and why the customer is returning your record, whether there is any mistake from your end or it is from the logistic department. And then most of the places the logistic department is not within the organization, it would be on a hire, right? So you would be able to ask the logistic department if damage was happened and why this damage happened, and you would be able to inquire about this, right? Now, as I mentioned that there should be a certain sales, and against that sale you would be able to do certain returns. So you need to select the original sales order number. So once you click here, you would be able to see all the details. So let's take 5079, and as a result of the selection of this, most of the details comes here. Against the sales order, which was the delivery order, you would be able to get it here. Since there is no delivery order against this, so I won't be able to generate the customer RMA. So what I would do, I will move on here, I will clear everything here, and then I will select the another one. So once I will select, so even against this there is no delivery order, so the system is intimating that the dispatch yet not happens. But once the discussion happens between the customers and you are aware of which sales order number. Since I'm not aware about that against which sales order what are all the transaction taken place, so that's why I just need to check that. So let me clear this. We'll search all the records again, and I would say against this record I want to. So here I do have the delivery order. I would select the delivery order. So once the delivery order gets filtered based on to the selected sales order, and thereafter You just need to select the warehouse from in which warehouse you're going to receive this. So I would select the warehouse. And here important part is basically the return policy. You must have to define the return policy into the VA system. So if you don't want to define the return policy based on each product, then it would be required. You must say this, and the time frames is 100 days. If you want to define for each product, then you would be able to come here. You would be able to define based on product category, product, and your time frame. Okay. So right now I don't want to define. I have the universal policy of 100 days. Okay. Now once it is done, thereafter I just need to save this record and then move on to the RMA line, and we just need to select the product that are returned by the customer. So I would say new record, and there is only a single delivery of this particular product where the damage was happened. So there was two quantities. So one quantity was it is written by the customer, so I would enter this, and rest is all done. You just need to save. And in this way you would, if a sales order contains multiple lines of the product and there are few products are written by the customer, in that case you just need to select by clicking on new record one by one order line and shipment line, and thereafter you just need to update the quantities. One of the most important thing here is more than the sales order quantity you won't be able to enter, and then not basically the sales order, instead of the delivery order or the shipment won't be entered, or the customer won't be able to return. So there is a check placed here. So once it is done, everything is all fine. You just need to move on to the header and process this particular record. So once this record is processed, then your document status becomes completed, and thereafter when you receive the actual material from the customer, you need to enter the customer return document into the VA system. As a result of that, the system will update the costing, as well as the system will update the quantities into the warehouse. So it is completed now. Let's move on to the customer return document. For that you just need to search here, and this is the responsibility of the warehouse department, while the customer return entry is responsible at the end of the sales department, since in case there would be any return, the discussion would be taken place with the sales representative. Okay. So now here at this particular place you just need to select the customer RMA number. So here I have only one, so I would select this. As a result of the selection of this, you would be able to see the system picks up everything and generated all fills all the fields of the header. Once it is done, you just need to save this, move on to the return line, click on new record, select the RMA line, and select the locator in which you are receiving this material. So once it is done, so everything is all well, save this record and process this record. So we'll complete this record. As a result of this processing of this record, as I have mentioned, that the cost and the quantities into the warehouse gets updated by the system automatically. So once the customer return is done, thereafter what you need to do is to generate the AR credit memo or the credit note. To generate the AR credit memo or the credit note, you need to open the AR invoice or invoice customer window. So once we'll open this, thereafter I need to select the relevant customer. So the customer is, first I just need to select the relevant doc type. So it is the credit memo, that is the return invoice. So I would say, and then I just need to select my relevant customer. Once it is done, thereafter I just need to say save this and create the lines against the customer return. So I would say create lines, and I would come here and select this and select this. So as a result of this, the system links the customer RMA with and then the customer return document with my credit memo, and here you would be able to see all the details. So once it is done, thereafter you just need to process this record, and in this way the entire customer return process used to run into the VA system. So once it is processed, your doc status becomes completed. So as I mentioned that this is not the direct debit note, it is the debit note that contains the reference of the customer RMA and the customer return. So this is how you would be able to initiate the customer return process, and this is how you would be able to enter all these details. As a result of this, later on you would be able to see the postings of these transactions. So if you can see the posting of your credit memo, then your receivables are reduced, and you can see here the postings. Your receivables are getting credited here with 208. Okay, so that is how this into the VA system you would be able to process the customer return. That's all in this video. What I would suggest is to share this video along with your customer, along with your colleagues. And if you like our video, then I would request you to subscribe our channel. Till then, thanks a lot. Bye bye.